All right, which investment account is the best one? So today I'm going to break down the differences between a traditional and a Roth IRA. Let's hit it. An IRA is just an individual retirement account, and they come in a traditional or a Roth. Before we jump into that, I want to stress the importance of investing early and often. If you have not started investing for your retirement, you need to do so as soon as possible. And if you're already investing for your retirement, look to see how much more you can put into that account, because putting in just a little bit more early can make a huge difference in the long run. All right, I'm going to show you with numbers exactly how important it is to start investing and investing early. So I'm going to say I'm 35 years old right now, and I want to retire at age 65. That gives me 30 years to invest. Let's say I'm starting from zero. I have nothing in retirement right now, and I want to contribute $500 a month. And I'm expecting 10% return because that's the S&P 500's average. Now, if I do that for the next 30 years, I contribute $500 a month. I will be a millionaire by the time I retire. I'm going to have $1.1 million. And I'm going to have total contributions of $180,000. Now, say for example, you know what? I don't think I can contribute anything into retirement. I'm going to wait for 15 years until I'm a little more financially secure. I'm going to start investing at age 50, right? Because that's halfway. That's 15 years from away from me. Now, I have nothing in my retirement account at age 50, but I'm like, you know what? I'm a little more financially secure. So I'm going to contribute $1,000 a month instead of just that $500. And I'm going to get that same return, that 10%. Now, if I do that and calculate it out, my ending account is only $414,000. Now, look at my total contributions, $180,000, just like here, right? But the problem is I waited for 15 years to start investing. So I lost out on compounding interest for the first 15 years of investing. So even if you can't do 500, maybe it's less than that for right now. Start early, start investing often, and keep building on that. You know, as you find ways to save money, or if you get a better job, you get a raise, take that money and throw it into that investment account, because investing early and often is the best way to become a millionaire. All right, so say you can just make a little bit of cuts in your budget. If you got a new job, say you got a raise, what if you could bump from $500 up to $600 that you save a month and put that into an investment account? Now, $100 a month, most people can find $100 a month that they can do, whether that's like $100 a month, or cutting down some expenses, eating out less, buying less coffee or soda or snacks or any of those things. Now, if you could find $100 and just say, you know what, instead of 500, I'm going to bump this up to 600. I'm going to go from 1.1 million. If I recalculate that, it jumps me up almost $250,000. That is a huge, huge benefit for you at retirement. So start early, invest often. That is the best way to become a millionaire. The caveat to that is don't run faster than you are able. And what I mean by this is don't put so much money into your retirement that you are forgetting to pay down any debt that you have. I would suggest that if you have credit card debt at all, that should be the very first thing you do. Before you even start investing for retirement, knock out that credit card debt, because you are getting charged 20% interest most likely on that credit card debt. And the average return on the S&P 500 is 10 to 12% annually. So you would be better off financially to pay off the higher interest debt than you would be to go and invest. All right, traditional and Roth IRAs, these are accounts that you can open on your own. So this is important if your company doesn't offer a 401k plan. If your company does offer a 401k plan, then you need to throw that into the mix on determining which one is the best fit for you. Likely, if your company offers a 401k plan, they often will offer a match as well. So that means any money that you can contribute into your 401k, they will match it to a certain percentage as well. If you have a 401k plan and there is a match, take advantage of it, because otherwise you are throwing away free money. All right, there are IRS limits on how much you can contribute into an IRA, and in 2024 and in 2025, that limit is $7,000. Now, if you are older than 50, then it is $8,000. That means you can contribute up to $8,000 into it. And that is your limit because you are older than 50. Now, married couples, you get the 7,000 or the 8,000 if you're over 50, and multiply it by 2 because you get that limit for yourself and for your spouse. You can make these contributions throughout the year, or you can make them in a lump sum payment. So if you want to contribute into an IRA and it is November, almost December, you can make the entire $7,000 contribution at one time. It doesn't matter how you make it, but that is the limit during a year. Now, there are some nuanced rules if your company offers a 401k plan or a retirement plan. So those ones are a little bit more complicated. If you have questions and want to know more about those, hit me up in the comment section. I'm happy to explain. Essentially, it just is a income-based approach where if you have a certain income and your company offers a 401k plan, then you can't contribute into an IRA, but that income is pretty high. So for an average American, you should still be able to contribute into an IRA. All right, now we're going to break down traditional versus Roth. I'm going to give you opinion on why I think Roth is the way to go. I know, spoiler alert, foreshadowing, whatever you want to call it. But traditional IRA, all contributions into a traditional IRA are pre-tax. That means you can reduce your taxable income by any contribution that you make into a traditional IRA. So I'm just going to show you real quick. Say your taxable income is $60,000 as an individual. If you contribute $7,000, that puts you in $60,000 puts you into a 22% tax bracket. Now, if you contribute $7,000 into a traditional IRA, that is going to reduce your taxable income by $7,000, thus saving you $7,000 times 22% in taxes, which is $1,540. So that's money that you could save this year if you contribute into a traditional IRA. Now, if this is something that you want to do, you want to calculate yourself, just Google 2024 tax brackets. You can find them. There's, the tax rates are right here. This is single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and it'll give you your income threshold. So if your taxable income is between $47,000 and $100,000 for a single person, then you are taxed at 22%. Now, obviously, it doubles for married filing jointly. So for married filing jointly, if your income is above 94 but less than 201, you're at 22%. So you can go in and figure out how much money you can save by contributing into a traditional IRA. Now, because contributions into a traditional IRA are pre-tax, when you pull them out upon retirement, then you are taxed on the withdrawal from your retirement account. So you've got to just wonder, how much am I going to be taxed when I withdraw? How much do I expect my annual spend to be when I withdraw? So for example, if you say, hey, at retirement, I expect to pull $50,000 a year, that cover my living expenses, go on any trips, hopefully by then your house is paid off so you won't have a mortgage. But if that's what you expect to pull out, then you got to say, okay, well, if I'm pulling out $50,000 from my IRA every time, I'm going to be taxed at 10% for the first $11,600. I'm going to be taxed 12% up to $47,000 and then 22% above that. That's what you're going to be taxed. So you will be taxed when you pull the money out. Now, a Roth IRA has the exact same limits as the traditional IRA. It's $7,000 unless you're 50 or older than it is $8,000. But the cool thing about Roth contributions is these contributions are actually post-tax. That means you will not be able to reduce your taxable income in the year of contribution. So for going back to my example, instead of saving $1,540, you will be paying that $1,540 in taxes. But this is where things get really cool. A Roth IRA, any growth in that investment is completely tax-free. So I want to show you how this works. So I'm going to go into this investment calculator. I'm going to say we're starting at 35 years old and we're going to go to 65. I'm doing that because I'm 35 years old and I'm going to put my retirement age as 65. Now I'm going to say I'm going to contribute $500 a month into my retirement account, and I expect my annual return to be 10%. I'm going to go on the low side right here. This is Dave Ramsey's investment calculator. It says historically the 30-year return of the S&P 500 has been 10 to 12%. So I'm going to calculate that. From 35 to 65, so in 30 years, I'm going to have about $1.1 million. Now my total contributions are $180,000. So for example, in a traditional IRA, if I contributed $180,000 over 30 years, that's going to save me money on taxes. And in my example, it was 22%. So if I'm saving 22% on taxes, I just saved almost $40,000 throughout the last 30 years on taxes. That is under a traditional IRA. Now, a Roth IRA, remember, you are taxed on all of the withdrawals on a traditional IRA. So when you pull money out, you're going to be taxed. Now, Roth IRA, if I contribute that $180,000, I don't get that $40,000 worth of savings. But this $950,000 from growth, that is completely tax-free. So my $950,000. Now, for example, if I pulled that out and I was pulling it out at a 22% tax rate, say that's how quickly I pulled my money out, I would have $209,000 in taxes. That is what I would be paying under a traditional IRA. I would be pulling out and paying $209,000 in taxes. Whereas a Roth, I don't have to pay that tax at all. So I have actually a much larger tax savings by contributing into a Roth IRA. And that's why I am using a Roth IRA as my form of an investment account. Now, most of my investments are actually held in real estate. I love investment in real estate, but I also want to invest in stocks because it's smart to be diversified. So I invest into a Roth IRA because I know that the tax benefits are going to be huge. And I'm going to try and max out my Roth contribution every single year. If you have studied this on your own, what are your guys' opinions? What do you think? Do you like traditional so that you can save the money now, or do you like Roth IRA so that you can save taxes in the long run? Hit me up in the comments section and tell me your favorite mode of investing. Now, with both traditional and Roth IRAs, you are required to take a certain amount of distributions at age 72. You can't just leave that money in there forever. So there are some limits that you have to pull out money, but that's for another video. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section. We'll talk to you guys next time.